Welcome to the Candle Business Coach Podcast, a show about the craft of candle making and small business. I'm your host, Kirsty Allen, and I'm a candle maker, mum of 3, and kindness advocator. Join me as I dive into all things candles and small business and deliver advice and tips to you in episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Are you on the list to get my daily motivation emails? Every day I'll send you a message that is designed to help keep you focused on taking action toward your goals. Sign up using the link in the show notes. This episode is brought to you by my free ebook, the Candle Business Marketing Kickstarter Kit. Inside this free ebook, you'll find your blocks of time and learn actionable tips so you can grow your business faster and earn more income to lead you to your goals. Check out the link in the show notes for your copy. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend. In today's episode, I'll be sharing with you 10 ways you can simplify your candle business and life, and how, by simplifying, you increase your productivity and efficiency in your business. I wanted to create this episode for you today as I know firsthand how important it is to simplify, to help not only increase your productivity, but also finding more peace in your life and business as well. The two go hand in hand. When we feel happier within ourselves, our business will flourish as we feel more motivated and inspired to take action in our business, thus increasing our output and ability to make more sales and grow with our business. But how do you begin the process of simplifying your life if perhaps you've never stopped before and taken stock of how your business and life are operating? You may be going from task to task almost mindlessly, rather than stepping back and assessing how you can best implement changes in your life and business and then actually making those changes. It's like when we start a new job, we're given a manual on how things are done, and that manual has been written with instructions or procedures for all the tasks required for that role. And those tasks are documented on how best to complete them in the fastest way possible. We need to do that too. Well, maybe not actually document everything we do. This is an episode about simplifying our life, remember? What I mean is, we need to approach our day-to-day tasks and life in an objective way and look at ways we can simplify everything so we have more space and time for the things that truly matter to us. So, without further ado, here are 10 ways you can begin to simplify your life and candle business today. Number 1, reduce news input to one source, and that can be written, visual, or audio. So I don't actually listen to the news or any media outlets because I know that when I do, it's all doom and gloom and it impacts my mood and my outlook. It's not about being ignorant, it's about being intentional about what information is being filtered through to me. And I find that it's more liberating than FOMO. So what I'd recommend you do is look at what sources of news and media you're actually consuming, and then minimize what you're bringing into your life, and by being more intentional about what you actually listen to or read on the internet. You'll still hear about things that are important to you, for example, the pandemic. Even though I didn't listen to any news sources or media sources, that was still filtered through. So you still will hear about things that are going on around in the world, but you'll hear them through a filter of not wanting to overwhelm yourself with the information that's usually negative rather than positive. So when it comes to your candle business, I want you to not look or compare yourself to other candle businesses on social media. You should aim to only absorb the accounts that inspire you, not bring you down. The second way you can simplify your life is to declutter. So that could be as simple as popping a bucket or a bag in your cupboard, and then every time you try on new clothes or old clothes that don't fit you anymore, you can put them straight into that bucket, and then once the bucket's full, you can donate it to charity. You could also go through each room and each cupboard and remove things and items that no longer serve you. A good rule of thumb is to look at the item and ask yourself, would I buy this again? So you could set aside 30 minutes each day or each week to tackle decluttering and just go room to room, cupboard to cupboard. Also, there's a good rule that I like to follow called 1 in, 1 out. And what that means is if I'm buying anything new and bringing that into my home, I then remove something that no longer serves me. And I also like to have a designated home for everything. So everything has its place, and when you're finished using it, it goes back in its place. For your candle business, it's as simple as selling unneeded supplies and equipment, and there are plenty of Facebook groups where you can sell your supplies like fragrance oil, wicks and wax, anything that you have an excess of that you know you're not going to use to produce products, you can sell and declutter into those Facebook groups because someone will be looking for a bargain and you're looking to declutter, which is a perfect win-win. Number 3, unsubscribe. Now this can be from emails or junk mail. And what I want you to bear in mind is when you receive emails, rather than just deleting them, go through that extra step and scroll to the bottom and actually unsubscribe. That way you'll prevent any more coming in the future, and it means that there's less input into your inbox. For junk mail, you can simply put a no advertising material sign on your letterbox. Now for your candle business, it's a little bit more obscure, but what I want you to think about is unsubscribing from the belief that you need to create endless amounts of products and options for your potential customers. It's better to create fewer products to start with than expanding your range when you know what sells and which options your customers prefer. The 4th way to simplify your life is to simplify your schedule or declutter your to-do list. For example, and this goes for both life and your candle business, look at all the tasks that you currently do and remove anything that doesn't need to be there. What can you delegate or outsource? For example, can you hire a virtual assistant for a couple of hours a week to do your social media? Could you hire a cleaner to take care of your household chores while you make candles? Look at where your time is best spent rather than trying to do it all. When you start your candle business, there are so many things to consider and research along the way, especially when it comes to choosing the right suppliers. Long Story Short provides all your design and printing needs, from your logo and branding to designing and printing your product labels. The quality is exceptional, the customer service is amazing, and prices are very reasonable. They're the only label company I recommend, so check out their website or send them an email today to get started. hello@longstoryshortdesign.com.au. Number 5, embrace the power of automation. So when it comes to life, there are a few things that you can automate to make things a little bit simpler. For me, I like to set up automatic transfers from my bank account when I get paid into other accounts. So I follow the Barefoot Investor method, and I've found that to be really beneficial for keeping me on track with my finances. For your candle business, you can use automation for your emails, whether you send them weekly, fortnightly, or more or less frequently, depending on how often you're emailing your list. Number 6, say no more often. So this goes for both life and your candle business. I know fear of missing out is a real mindset challenge for some, but if you're saying yes to everything, you're going to be overwhelmed by the amount of effort required to maintain it all. Be more selective. If it's not a heck yes, it should be a no. The 7th way to simplify your life and business is to have one diary or one system for organizing everything. So when it comes to your personal life, look at what system you're currently using to be organized and see if it can be improved. So look at your paper or digital diary and plan weekly and monthly, but check it daily. For your candle business, have you organized all your testing notes into one system? Or are you using multiple notebooks and places, including your mind, to store all that information? It's important to document everything you're testing in one place for peace of mind as well as for insurance purposes. Now, I'll actually go into more detail about this on the 9th of December when the podcast episode with Nicole from Aussie Insurance is released, so keep an eye out for that, or rather keep an ear out for that. The 8th way to simplify your life is to use technology. So for me, one of my goals that I wanted to achieve was to drink more water, but I was finding that I'd get halfway or 3/4 through the day before drinking even 1 or 2 glasses. So what I did is I utilized technology, and I found an app that I could use to set a 2-hour reminder to tell me to drink water, and so I could track how much I was drinking each day. The idea of using technology in this way is so that I don't have to think about it or rely on my mind to remember it. I can rely on the technology instead. For your candle business, can you use apps such as Canva, Later, Planoly, Trello, or even calendar apps as well to help organize and streamline your processes? Using apps such as these, and there are free offerings available as well as paid plans, means that you can be more organized in your business and take things off your plate by taking things off your mind and putting them into the technology. Number 9, create routines. So when it comes to housework like cleaning and chores and life admin, I like to allocate certain tasks to certain days. So for example, for me, this is personal, but this is what I wanted to share. I do my washing 3 days a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So that means on the other days of the week, I don't have to think about it. I get everything done on those 3 days, and even though, yes, I do have a small baby, it is manageable to get the washing done on those 3 days only. You can also have a look at your morning and evening routines too, just to see what you can implement to make everything a little bit more streamlined again. The idea, of course, is to make everything more simple, and by having routines and structure in place, you'll be able to rely on those systems to get everything done. For your candle business, the same thing applies. So you can set certain tasks on certain days. For example, on a Sunday, you can prepare and schedule all your social media posts and content. And you can use an app such as Later or Plannerly, which I mentioned before. Then you can set days during the week to dedicate to pouring or making the candles, applying labels, trimming the wicks, doing all that's required to actually make your products. The last step I wanted to share with you is number 10, and it's practice gratitude. It's really important to be grateful for what you have and to live in the gain, not the gap. This will have a profound impact on your outlook, mood, and happiness. So have a think about ways that you can practice gratitude and show gratefulness throughout your day. It means being more kind to other people, but also being more kind to yourself as well, and being appreciative of the life you have and the opportunities that are in front of you. We're very blessed to live where we are and to have what we have in our world. So showing gratitude for those things on a big scale as well as a small scale is important, as I said, for your outlook, mood and happiness. So there you go. Those are 10 ways that you can simplify your life. And if you implement just even one or two, you'll definitely see an impact in your productivity and your efficiency as well. So I'd love to know which of the 10 ways was your favorite and what's something you're going to do today to implement into your life. I'd love to know, so send me a DM on Instagram at Candle Business Coach. And thanks everyone for listening today. I hope this episode added value to your candle making journey. Check out the show notes for all the links mentioned throughout today's episode. And if you would like to submit a question, send me a DM on Instagram at Candle Business Coach. And if you haven't already, download your free copy of my guide, 5 Simple Steps to Start Your Candle Journey. It contains tips and advice before you make your first candle, and details are in the show notes. Lastly, please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And thanks again for listening. Have a beautiful day.